Okay, so now that we have our basic TypeScript file here, we want to hook it up to a browser because that's where you're going to run a lot of your code that you write with TypeScript. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to create a new file here called index.html. Very typical. We'll do an exclamation point, hit tab, and this will use the emit abbreviations in Visual Studio Code to stub out a HTML document for you. And we'll just say hello TypeScript here. And then we want to bring in our hello.js file. So we're just going to do it just like we would any other script. And we'll say hello.js. Notice that we use the JS file, not the TypeScript file. And we're only console logging right now, so I'm going to go ahead and just save this and open it up. So all we're doing is console logging out the name, and we're calling it immediately here. So we're not really doing anything in HTML, which we'll do in a second, but let's just see that it works in a browser as well as in Node. So I'll open this up, I'll run it, and you'll see hello Matt down here was console logged out. So this is cool. Now we've written TypeScript, compiled to JavaScript, and we're running it in the browser. But how can we do something a little more advanced? Like let's say we wanted to get typings for jQuery. So let's go ahead and pretend like we're using jQuery. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this little file into a actual project where we can use typings and things like that from Node. So what I'm going to do is open up the command prompt here, and we're going to go ahead and just npm init a new project. And this is going to give us a package JSON. Let's take a look. Just a basic package JSON here. And it's ready for us to put some weird description in here. That's interesting. We'll just call it hello TypeScript. And what we're going to do is install some modules. Basically, we just want to get some typings and access to jQuery. So if you go out and how to install jQuery, you may see an option like this where we say npm install jQuery. And then we're also going to install the types for jQuery. So types/jQuery. Now this is where most of the types are. So if you install a package from Node, if you add types/package name, if there are types, they'll probably be there. And then that will install them for you. And then TypeScript will have access to those types. Now, we also want to create a TypeScript project file. So we're going to do tsc-init. And this is going to output a tsconfig.json. Now, this file is crucial to telling TypeScript how we want to actually compile our JavaScript. So let's take a look at what we have here. I'm going to get rid of all of these comments real quick. So a lot of your setup will be in this file. Now, one thing we want to tell it is where are our files, and we can add a files property here, and we're going to add hello.ts because that's the only file that we're really worried about. And for the purposes of this is all that we're going to do right now. Our target is ES5, so ECMAScript 5. We have it on strict, saying don't allow any types. So we're just giving it some basic setup here. And most of it's already done for you. So now what this allows us to do is when we're at our command line, instead of typing tsc hello.ts, we can just type tsc, and then that will do our compilation. So this is cool. And we also can do tsc-w, which will watch our file. So now this is running, it's watching our files to compile. So let's see what that means. So if I go over to hello.ts and I change something like to will, and I save it, this will automatically get compiled. And now whenever we go and run our project, we'll see it says hello will. So I didn't have to actually compile that anymore. It's going to just save it automatically for us. So this is cool. And if we have errors, like if I do age 21 and save this, we go over to our command line, we'll get that error over here as well. So this is running and watching our file. and constantly updating. So let's put this back and let's bring in jQuery. So you'll see that it added this node modules directory here, and under there we have jQuery and types. So let's first of all just start using jQuery here. So if I hit $, let's say that we're going to put something on our screen called name, and you'll see we're getting all of this IntelliSense off of that $ variable. So it knows for sure that all of these things exist. And we want to put some HTML in that element, and we're going to output the same thing that we're doing here into an element with an ID of name. All right. So if we save this and we run it, it should work, right? It's ready. It looks like it should work, right? We'll see that it compiled, everything's fine. If we come over here and run it though, we're going to get an error and it says $ is not defined. So even though we're using the types that we installed here, we haven't put them in the browser to work. And this is the basic implementation. You won't be doing it like this in the future when we start doing build processes and bundling our files, but I want to show you exactly how this would work if you're doing the simplest possible implementation. So we would need to come over here and reference our jQuery. So we'll say it's in our node modules, it's in jQuery, it's in jQuery, it's in dist, and jQuery min.js, there it is. So now if we save this, go over here and run our file, we'll see that we got hello Matt, we didn't get anything outputted. And why is that happening? Let's check. Come over here, save this file, let's make sure it's compiling. And we also need to add onto our index.html div with the name attribute. All right. Now if we go back and we run, we'll see that this isn't running. Oh, and the reason is that because we have our scripts in our head here, that the HTML is not ready yet. So let's put these in our body just to make this easier. We'll save this and we'll run it, and there we go. We get hello Matt. So the HTML hadn't loaded yet. A lot of times in jQuery you'll see people do document.ready, but we don't really have to do that if we put our scripts at the end. All right, so this is working now, and TypeScript knows about this $ thing. So we'll take this out. We'll see that it has all kinds of different abilities on it. So I'll just put in my name here, and it'll show us like click or mouse down, mouse enter, mouse leave. So we're getting all this IntelliSense here of exactly how this works. So for instance, if we wanted to do click, want to do .click. We put these parentheses here, it'll tell us everything that the click function requires, and we can tell that it requires a handler to handle the click. So let's say that we wanted this to happen, and we could send in a function here, and we could alert out options.name whenever this div is clicked. So let's save this, go back, and if we click this now, we'll get an alert here. So it's just simply showing you that these typings exist. It's really cool. If I go here and I put in a number, right, I'm going to get an error because that's not right. It's not part of the typings. That's not how jQuery works. So this is really cool that now I can use this, know that I'm using jQuery properly before I actually run it in the browser. So this is a simple example of how to use jQuery with TypeScript, get it into your web page and start running it. So go ahead and do that. You can pull in other typings too. So if you wanted to pull in moment or whatever, you can do that. You just got to make sure that you reference the scripts here. Now, next, I'm going to show you how to create a full build process that will bundle everything together, and we can import it and use some more advanced syntax. So I'll see you in the next video to go over that.